They tried to humiliate her on a blind date, but she turned their cruelty into their downfall. Look who decided to show up. Our Cinderella finally made it. A shrill voice echoed across the elegant restaurant, turning a few heads. Harper's stomach churned as she paused at the entrance of the Gilded Vine. Her colleagues from the marketing company, Eliza, Miranda, and Taryn, were sitting strategically near a reserved table, phones raised, recording every step she took as if she were some exotic spectacle. Harper Reed, 29, had learned long ago not to let petty cruelty break her. She had survived far worse than a condescending office prank. "Sorry I'm late," she said calmly, approaching the man sitting alone at the table. He didn't match the ridiculous description Eliza had whispered in her office 3 days earlier, a desperate, awkward loser. Instead, he had kind eyes, confident posture, and an ease that suggested he had nothing to prove. "I'm Jonathan," he said, standing politely, "and you must be Harper. Please have a seat." Across the restaurant, Eliza whispered something to her friends, laughter dripping with malice. Harper ignored them, letting a serene expression mask the cold, calculated focus sharpening inside her. She knew exactly what these women were trying to do, and she was ready. 3 days ago, Eliza had approached Harper with her fake smile. "I have the perfect friend for you," she said, feigning enthusiasm. "Discreet, hard-working, you know. I already reserved a table at the Gilded Vine for Friday night." Harper had hesitated. Something in Eliza's tone, the barely hidden smugness, triggered a flash of memory. The same look she'd worn when she stole credit for Harper's campaigns or left her out of critical meetings. "Sure, Eliza. Sounds great," Harper had replied, already planning how she would handle whatever humiliation awaited. Sitting across from Jonathan, Harper realized he was genuinely interested in their conversation. He asked about her work, her dreams, questions filled with curiosity rather than pity. Nothing about him matched the narrative Eliza had constructed to make Harper look foolish. "May I ask how you know Eliza?" Harper said, tilting her head slightly. Jonathan frowned. "Eliza? I don't know any Eliza. My assistant mentioned someone requested that I meet you, but no names were given." Confirmation. Harper's instincts told her this was not a date. It was a trap designed to humiliate her publicly. Yet the same dangerous calm that had helped her survive far worse circumstances settled over her. People like Eliza always underestimated women like Harper. Meanwhile, Eliza and her friends were escalating their performance, filming Harper and whispering malicious comments. Harper smiled at Jonathan, not a warm smile, but one that suggested controlled power. "May I ask what you do, Jonathan?" she said. "I run a few businesses," he replied vaguely. Harper raised an eyebrow. "Interesting. You have the aura of someone who does much more than meets the eye." Jonathan smiled faintly, clearly intrigued. He had no idea that Harper Reed wasn't just a mid-level marketing employee. She was a founder of Reed and Associates, a human resources consulting firm specializing in workplace discrimination. She had grown up in Chicago, the daughter of a single mother who cleaned offices at night to pay the bills. Her mother had an MBA but had been systematically passed over in her career because of bias. Harper had learned early that patience, observation, and meticulous documentation were her most powerful tools. "My mother always said, 'Watch how people treat you when they think you have no power,'" Harper remarked discreetly, nodding toward Eliza. "And believe me, document it." Jonathan frowned, intrigued. "Document it?" Harper smiled with that dangerous sparkle. "People like Eliza leave traces. Always. And I've been collecting evidence for a long time." Eliza, intoxicated by her own cruelty, approached their table. "Just want to make sure you two are getting along." Harper, "Don't be too intense," she said, placing a hand on Harper's shoulder in a gesture meant to seem friendly. But it was pure condescension. Harper's voice, sweet yet dangerous, sliced through the tension. "Eliza, are you sure you want to continue? Because some doors, once opened, cannot be closed." Eliza laughed off the warning. "Relax. It's just a date. Happens to the best of us." Harper calmly took out her phone, not in panic, but in deliberate precision. She began accessing an Instagram account Eliza had never known existed, a place where she had documented every racist comment. every cruel office joke, every moment of discrimination from the past 6 months. Jonathan leaned in. "Are you okay?" "Perfectly," Harper replied, not looking up. In the next few minutes, she coordinated with David Lawrence, the restaurant's night manager, who she recognized from a guest lecture she had given at his law school. David had discreetly gathered audio and security footage of Eliza's harassment, every comment, every cruel gesture, every recording now carefully stored as evidence. "Still want to finish dessert?" Harper asked Jonathan, as if nothing had happened. But Jonathan noticed the danger simmering beneath her calm exterior, the same calm that turned underestimated women into forces to be reckoned with. The next morning, Eliza arrived at Summit Marketing with the same smugness. She didn't expect the HR director, Margaret Chun, to be waiting in the conference room alongside 2 lawyers she didn't recognize. "Eliza Moore, please come with us," Margaret said, her voice icy. "What's this about?" Eliza stammered. The room was set up for a presentation. The first slide showed Harper Reed's company logo and a professional photo of Harper in a crisp executive suit. Eliza's smug smile faltered. "Sit down, please," Margaret said. The lawyer began with surgical precision. "Last night, Ms. Eliza Moore committed explicit racial discrimination against a potential client, Ms. Harper Reed. All actions were captured on video and audio, alongside documentation of public humiliation and harassment. The slide displayed screenshots from Eliza's Instagram stories, each post highlighting her derogatory comments. "No, that was a joke," Eliza cried. "She's not even a client." "She is," the lawyer interrupted. "Ms. Reed was hired by the city to audit companies providing diversity and inclusion services, including Summit Marketing. Your actions directly compromised an $8 million municipal contract." Eliza's face turned pale. "Furthermore," Margaret continued, "this was not an isolated incident. We have documented research in prior office complaints showing systematic discriminatory behavior, all corroborated by multiple witnesses, and recordings from last night's dinner." The door opened. Harper entered, no longer in simple clothes, but an executive suit that radiated authority. She carried her leather briefcase and walked to the head of the table, radiating control. "Ms. Reed," Margaret said respectfully. Harper nodded, placing a detailed report on the table. "This is my preliminary report on Summit Marketing's work environment," she said. "It includes 6 months of discrete observation, interviews with employees, and last night's live demonstration of discriminatory behavior." Eliza's hand shook as Harper laid out the documentation. Casual racial jokes, promotion biases, and systematic harassment, all meticulously recorded. "You can hire a lawyer," Harper said softly. "But the city has your evidence. My blog, with over 500,000 followers, will be publishing this as a study on institutionalized corporate racism." Margaret added, "Given the severity of the incident and potential financial and reputational damage, Summit Marketing has decided to terminate your employment immediately. No severance, and references reflecting the circumstances of your dismissal." Eliza erupted. "You can't do this. It's just one night." "One night that encapsulated months of behavior," Harper replied evenly. "You humiliated me thinking my color and background would protect you. You were wrong." Eliza was escorted out, crying and desperate, while Harper calmly returned to her laptop to update her case files. A night intended to humiliate her had become a masterclass in strategy, preparation, and justice. Harper had turned arrogance into evidence, cruelty into documentation, and a hostile attempt at humiliation into the complete professional and personal downfall of a woman who underestimated her. As Harper left Summit Marketing, she knew one thing. Some people mistake kindness for weakness, but underestimating the wrong person can cost them everything.